Careful, she's listening right down the hall. You cannot say we will not evolve. So we set sail, carry on, moving forward to take another step in the proper direction. Out of sight, out of mind, it's no wonder we never seem to exist. Scream for me, I want to hear you. Breathe for me, I want to feel you. Why did you try to explain what's happening? Scream for me, I want to hear you. Breathe for me, I want to feel you. Why did you try to explain what's happening? It's happening, happening, happening now. Lay your crown so high, better knock it off. We all fall again, cutting so deep, my friend. You're on your own. Scream for me, I want to hear you. Breathe for me, I want to feel you. Why did you try to explain what's happening? Scream for me, I want to hear you. Breathe for me, I want to feel you. Why did you explain? Why did you try? Why did you try? Cutting away, sever the honesty and all the ties that bind. Cutting away, suffer the consequence of all the times I lied. Do you follow the hollow when you feel like you're all alone? You're so disconnected, so follow the hollow. So addicted now to the world within. Now you see the wicked side of me. I've had enough, but it pulls me in. Now you see the wicked side of me. Side of me. Some kind of rage is taking a hold of me, and I cannot be saved. Some kind of rage, and I don't think I can change my self-destructive ways. Do you fall?
Talladega. That is where we meet in week 1 of the new season in the Midwest Days of Thunder ARCA series. We have a whole bunch of new people starting out this league. Perfect time for it here at a plate track. But they're all racing one person. And that's going to be Gavin Marlin, winner of last year's entire season. So we're going to look to see if he can be a repeat champion here in the ARCA series. I'm Alan Brown, and today I'm joined in the booth with Mr. Alan English.
Hey, thanks, Brown. I'm excited to see all these new faces, new drivers, some good returning talent. They've all got their work cut out for them for sure, taking down Gavin Marlin this season, but we'll see how it goes.
Indeed, and down on pit road in his normal spot, we've got Mr. Adam Turner. How's the cooler looking today down there, man?
Thanks, Brown. Yeah, the cooler's full, as usual. It's a little warm down here again. But I'm so excited to watch this Talladega, man. Talladega brings out the best and worst in everyone, so it should be super exciting. Guys usually, get a little frustrated near the end of the race, and that's when we have the big one, as they call it. And with all these new guys here, a lot of them probably hadn't raced together, I don't think, and it's going to be. I think they're going to put on a show. I've been watching practice, and they're running in good packs with 3 wide sometimes, so I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, and you're not kidding about the good packs. In these cars, we don't really allow too much bump drafting, but we're still seeing speeds of up to 200 miles an hour. Mr. English, how do you think these cars in a big pack, once when we take the green flag, are going to react to all that air movement?
It's definitely going to be a challenge. That you can't bump draft these cars because they're shaped like a doorstop. You're going to get up underneath somebody's bumper, just lift their rear tires off the ground. You can touch a little bit to a certain extent, but these cars, they suck up very well. They draft very well. If you're just patient here and stick close behind somebody, you can still run around here at 70-80% throttle.
Yeah, I totally agree. And what I have a problem sometimes driving these cars, when you get outside of that little bubble, it kind of becomes pretty loose, So you got to have a little bit of talent on the track like this to manipulate the car in traffic at high speeds. So that's what makes it fun. That's plate racing, and that's kind of why we all watch racing. It's never, anything can happen.
That's right, and as with all pretty much plate tracks, it's very much a gamble. And what would your strategy be, guys, if do you want to start in the front where kind of get all that nice open space and don't have to jockey for position much? I mean, we're only here for 25 laps, so it's not overly long. Or do you?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's all right.
There's basically 2 schools of thought here. It's a shorter race. Try to qualify well. Start in front of some of the guys that maybe don't have as much experience, and track position. Just try to stay up there because you're going to get a caution or 2 probably. Try to stay near the front within striking distance. But if you start in the back, it's a small enough field. You may be able to work with some other cars and move up, but I don't know. What do you think about that, Adam?
Personally, I just don't want to lose the lead pack. That's where you get into problems on a short race like this. If we were running 100 laps or something, that'd be a little different. But you only have 25 laps to get to the front, and I don't mind starting in the back, but you damn sure better not lose that front pack, or the game. It's over, unless there's a caution or something like that. And sometimes these races can go without caution. Believe it or not, I think we've seen a few of them with green flag pit stops. So I mean, I'm kind of with you, but I definitely want to kind of keep it in the middle of the pack, probably.
Staying in the same zip code with the front guys. I mean, that's a wise strategy. I mean, another thing these guys are going to have to watch out for today is maybe not so much here as other tracks, but losing the front end. If you're right on somebody's rear end and you don't see where the turn begins, and you might get into it a little bit late, it might pull. That lead car may be blocking a little bit of your downforce off your front end, so these guys are going to have to fight that tightness, I think, coming into these corners sometimes if they're following close.
Absolutely, and even though this is a very wide track, I mean, you can start seeing cars going 3, maybe even 4 wide. All that space narrows up really quick. Might see some door-to-door bumping and banging, not necessarily on purpose, just how the track is and how the car's going to move around here.
We saw a little bit of that in practice, some 4 wide down the back stretch, and most of the time they kind of get it sorted out before turn 3, but most of these guys look like they're giving each other pretty good room. We saw a couple of cars mixing it up earlier in practice, but hopefully everything pans out good and everybody races smart.
Yeah, man, and that's the key, right? Can we all race smart and keep it clean until, lap number 25 when there's no rules, basically? You know how that goes. I'm watching them right now in this pack, and everybody seems like they're kind of got a good grip on the car. Beautiful paint schemes out there too, and really kind of a cool looking race cars out here.
That's for sure. There's some good-looking ones out here. And if these cars get a little bit beat up on some of these cautions, if they do happen, we do have 2 fast repairs in this ARCA series. So get in there, get it fixed. 2 fast repairs is more than enough on a race of this length, I think.
Yeah, with 25 laps, I mean, if you can't get it done with 2 fast repairs, I mean, you just have to spit it out because it'll be over by the time your repairs get done on the 3rd one. So, I mean, hey, well, you never know what's going to happen, and that's the beauty of it. We could just see a flat-out no caution race, or we could have 3 or 4. You just never know. It's Dega.
And Brown, this is one of those tracks where anybody can win. I mean, we've seen it before. Guys that aren't usually called out in the top 5, top 10, sneak their way up there and get it done when it counts.
Yep, as we start here to roll out for qualifying, we'll take a flying lap here with Angel Hernandez. He was in one of the top finishers of last season's ARCA race, ARCA seasons, excuse me. And so he's pretty quick, so he's definitely going to be one to watch tonight.
One of the cool things about watching this qualifying, we may get to see some of this strategy, but on a big track like this, you want to stay on the outside of the track like Angel's doing right now for that whole first lap. Get up to speed, get some heat in them tires, and then for that second lap, you want to put it on that yellow line. You want to get as low as you can, and close that distance. That's what you're wanting to do. You're trying to keep the minimum amount of distance possible between start line and back around again and start finish line.
Yeah, for sure. And qualifying when nobody's out there, it's a totally different ball game than when you have cars to draft and ride with. So you kind of just got to ride your line and hold the throttle down. I mean, there's no lift on qualifying on this race.
We've definitely seen the last couple of seasons during these plate races, hashtag never lift. If it's not trending, it needs to be this week.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to have a situation where somebody should have lifted when they hit the corner and they don't, and that's when we have these big pileups. So it'll be fun to watch. Super excited about it, man. I like seeing these new drivers, and they're all they're gunning to move up in this league. MDOT Racing is kind of a cool series where you start at ARCA and you can move your way up from Xfinity to Cup. And, a lot of these guys have been racing together for a long time in the Cup series, and they're watching these races right now, trying to find, hey, who's my next driver? Who can I bring up? What can we do? So these guys are probably out here trying to make a name for themselves, would be my guess.
As we just get word from the admins, this race has been extended for 10 laps. We're going to be racing for 35 instead of 25.
Ooh, that's
not really going to change my strategy at all.
No.
The 10 extra laps, we're going to get 10 extra laps of excitement, 10 extra laps of guys trying to beat their way back up to the front. But that's not going to change my strategy at all. I'm going to try to start towards the front and try to, keep that track position as much as I can.
But how about this, Mr. English? What about your pit strategy now? I mean, with 25 laps, I haven't even done the math yet.
Well, the run
we changed up to 35. What are we going to do here?
Well, 55% fuel. I think they're definitely going to have to make at least one stop. Now, what do you do on that stop? I mean, do you just top off with fuel? Do you take 2 tires? Do you take no tires? Me personally, I don't see myself taking any tires, even if it's 35 laps. What do you think, Brown?
Man, these cars start acting weird with old tires, and yeah, you can stretch them out for, the entire length of this race being 35 laps. I mean, you can even probably push it out to 60. question is, coming towards the end, watching how people are driving against each other, do you want to have that little bit of extra grip from all that air movement, or are you willing to risk it for the biscuit, so to speak?
Well, me personally, I'm going to at least take 2, just for that reason, because it does act a little bit squirrely now after 25, 30 laps on them, and it's not a huge difference, but it could be a little bit of difference in the final couple laps. So I'm gonna at least take 2. That's just kind of my thought process, and I hear the racing surface is like 107 degrees right now, so it's a little slick.
That it is. Let's take a quick look at today's track info. Just over 2.5 miles is Talladega, and a beautiful day we have down here. Not much wind, not too much sun. Ambient temperature being 77 degrees, but the track temp, I believe, is 108, which is still cooking a little bit.
Well, them guys in the stands drinking those Busch lattes, they're having a hard time right now if they've been drinking them since 9 a.m., which most of these guys from Alabama have. That's just how they do it in Dega. It's a big party.
That's how they roll, yeah.
So everybody has a good time. And so that's what we're looking forward to.
Yep, starting to take the grid here. Before we do our quick grid rundown, we don't have any sponsors for the ARCA series, so feel free to shout out if you guys have a company or whatever you guys want shouted out during these broadcasts. We'll be absolutely happy to get you guys some attention.
Yeah, I mean, what better way to deal with your small business or something with some like-minded guys and gals and putting a little sponsorship here and helping the league out and helping yourself out. You might get a little extra clientele just watching these broadcasts and these races, because they're good, man. These some good drivers, good league. Everybody seems to get along, and pretty damn good races in my opinion.
Yes, indeed. So, for your starting grid, we've got Harry James taking the pole spot, beating out Gavin, who is starting on the outside in number 2. We've got Brian Privet starting in 3rd in that 55 car, and Ryan Ayers in 4th, starting in the number 4 car. John J. Timms, we saw him last week in the exhibition race, starting in 6th, with Matthew Spires starting in 7th. Angel Hernandez, again, was one of those front runners last season, starting in 8th. And man, everyone's moving around. Give me my thing back. Thank you. Yeah, Matthew Spires starting in 8th. Got Gary Sachs, also kind of old name that's been running here for a little while, starting in 9th, with Timothy Jones, new name, running out your top 10.
11th place is going to be newcomer Michael Chaney. Jesse Holmes will be starting with him back in the 12th spot on the outside. Wade Brooks, the 88 car, will be starting 13th on the grid today. Carlos Ramos, the number 90 car, will be starting 14th. And the 93 of Isaac Wilson rounds out your top 15.
Yeah, and then the old number 17 of Patrick Allen Jr. is running 16th. And with showing Manny Valdez, I don't think he's racing. Jeremy Rucker in 18th in the number 12 car. And then you have Daryl Whitlow, number 9, running 20th. Joe Archer is number 16 car in 22nd place. And I don't know if is Michelob out there, the number 110. He's showing to be into the session, but that's an old-time name that he's been around the league a long time, and he's a hoot to listen to and have a good time with. So, but I don't think he's racing today.
Maybe Joe Archer will get a little bit of extra look today, as today is Canada Day.
Thank you. I was hoping somebody would mention that. Happy Canada Day, boys. I know we got some Canadians in the group.
Yeah, we got a few.
coming down the back stretch, following the pace car, we've got Terry James getting ready to try to take us to the green flag, and hopefully, who knows, maybe we'll stay green the entire way. Into turns 3 and 4. Oh, geez, am I behind?
Yeah, get live, bud.
Oh boy, I'm
It just took
way
the green,
behind.
green flag.
Green flag, my bad. Gavin getting a nice jump on Terry, looking to work on that outside. Looks like he's got him cleared if he wants to drop down, and he does. With Ryan giving him a big push there at the start.
Yeah, the Terry James number 49 car just lost a little bit of momentum there, but he's going to be fine. He'll hang with him right here on the old backstretch.
The 93 had a little bit of a bottleneck there, but he was able to dive to the outside and make it 3 wide there. They got out of trouble there quick.
As you can see, 2 wide going back at least 6 rows. Gonna be very tight racing, but it looks like they're giving each other at least a lane and a half of room to kind of settle into the pace here.
I mean, what a sight. For a beginner league and a progressive series, you know, these guys are being safe. They're giving each other room, like you said, and it looks like the outside line's got the advantage right now.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, what line would you be running right here, English? I'm just trying to, I would be trying to sort it out, you know?
Oh, yeah. You gotta go where the speed is, you know?
It looks like they're kind of mixing and matching, jumping around a little bit. Pretty good racing right now.
Pretty good. I think they're just trying to find their rhythm, trying to find their groove. Maybe not so much move up, but put themselves in a better position for later on in the race.
And you can see, like we talked about, there's nobody right on each other's bumper, really. They've got a little bit of a cushion behind the car in front of them, and they're looks like it's working out for them so far.
So far, and it looks like we already kind of have 2 packs forming. Looks like we're gonna have a chase pack kind of situation going on as they kind of spread out towards the back, which I don't know if that's the right call here.
No, you gotta get up there, even with the extended 10 laps here. You need to at least try to form up with the rest of these guys. I think they can. I don't think they're too far behind out of the draft. You just got to get up there and hang with the big boys and keep running it 2 wide. Let's roll this thing.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, urgency. I mean, look, we're 10% done already.
Yeah. It's crazy. But, I mean, hey, they're battling a little bit up front. I kind of like watching that.
Yeah, we got Ryan Ayers currently leading the entire field with, looks like Terry Freer is leading that outside line, and they're pretty neck and neck at the moment. No big runs as Gavin goes way below the yellow line. Let's see if he can
He's got a
merge back up
problem.
to traffic.
So what happened there, man? Because that's uncharacteristic. Something must be going on with this car.
Still down there on the apron. I don't know what's going on.
You don't think
joins the track.
you think he got too hot? I mean, he was
I think
behind
he
that
may
car in
have.
front of him.
Yeah, he may have. He was tight on that car. He might not have got enough airflow. So, need to watch him and see.
Yeah, watch
what
them
happens.
gauges, Gavin. I'm sure he's got his dad Jarrett telling him in his ear, "Hey, keep an eye on them gauges," because
Oh, the old man's probably working on his real race car. That kid's a real race car driver for those of y'all that don't know.
Well, as of right now, he hasn't lost the lead pack draft quite yet. I think he just managed to stay on.
Yeah, if it cools off and he can hold it, he'll get back up there eventually, I think.
Ryan Ayers goes from lane to lane. Man, it's hard to keep track of who's leading this thing with how close these guys are racing.
it's like a merry-go-round up in front. It's like a revolving door. These guys will pass on the outside, drop down, and then the outside line will push forward again, and you'll have another guy drop down.
Yeah, when you're doing that, you got to stick with your friends and try not to make any enemies. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? If you leave somebody high and dry, what's going to happen to you later on in the race when it comes close to the end. So
And with most of these guys never racing each other before, they're still trying to kind of figure out, hey, is this guy gonna be helpful to me later in the season? Or I guarantee there's people taking notes right now, and they're gonna go back and watch this broadcast and say, hey, the 12 didn't help me here, or the 93 did help me here, or
Right.
man,
they left me out to dry here. I mean, that's part of the game. That's the cool part about racing. It's not just pulling the wheel and putting the foot down.
That's right.
I mean, there's a lot of mental stuff going on when you're inside one of these cars. You're thinking about your next move, who's helping you, where you're going, and especially on these plate tracks.
and racetrack drivers do not forget. They'll definitely remember who helped them today and who didn't.
Yeah,
As
they
we
may
got-
forget-
Oh, it's
they may
somebody's
forget
in the
their
wall.
keys. Ooh.
They got a car up in the wall in turn 2. I didn't quite
Yeah, it
see who
looked
that
like
was.
it was the 12 car of Jeremy Rucker getting up into the wall. He's now lost the draft.
He may have a little damage there on the right front fender.
No idea what happened there, but man, just getting stuck up into that wall and shuffled way, way back.
And we talked about it before. If you get outside that little bubble of the draft, it'll throw you around a little bit, and that may have been what happened. I don't know. We'll have to take a look at it at some point.
He must have barely got up there and scraped it. His car looks fairly clean. And we'll find out if
Oh,
he
that's a 46
Oh.
spins. The 20
yellows out.
does save it, but the yellow comes out.
That's Timothy Jones. Texas boy in the 20 machine just kind of lost it there.
There was some beating and banging. Let's go back and take a quick look. Let's reverse that a little bit just to get a full picture of what happened here.
He might have had some help there.
He had some help. The 40, I think the 20 was just kind of moving around a little bit, and this is why there's no bump drafting in the ARCA cars here at the plate track. Those bumpers do not square up good, and he just whoop
And there
right
was no
around.
intended harm there.
No intended harm, but thankfully I don't think anybody got too damaged off of that.
I don't think the 20 hit anything. I think the only person maybe using their fast repair this time around may be the 12 car. We'll see here.
We
Well, if you have a fast
see.
repair, I would use it. If you're involved in anything, you have another one, so you might as well use it.
Jesse Holmes, because of the caution, will be leading this race when we go back to the green flag. Now, we're, coming up onto 10 laps into the race. Are you guys thinking about maybe coming down pit road and maybe seeing if you've got enough for the end of the race?
I may. I mean, you're gonna have to do your calculations and see because if we go straight green, I'm not quite sure on the actual the race calculations for the fuel, but if I'm riding in the back, you're not going to lose any spots. I'd top it off and put some new tires on it. That's just me.
Well, we do
I've
have
got quite a
some
few
takers.
here.
Well, I'm just going back on my own here, watching the replay, and at some point after that initial incident, the number 93 car comes down and hits the number 49 car of Terry James, and it kind of takes him out. So it might be something to look forward to when we get closer to the end of this race. There might be some tempers flaring.
There definitely may be a sense of urgency once these guys get all topped off with fuel and throw some fresh Goodyears on there and get back out and start racing again.
We can see here some of these races coming off of pit road. Don't think we've got too many big winners and losers on this one. Maybe one spot here or there. It looked like everybody hit their box just fine, but it looks like Gavin is still just kind of sitting in his box, and there he goes as the rest of the field follows out.
Alan, I'm noticing a couple of cars with pretty short pit stop times here. We may have a couple guys that did take two.
Yeah, and that's probably not a bad strategy this early on. I mean, it's not going to hurt you to grab 2 new tires, and you're not going to have cold tires. This is a pretty wide open track. You don't have to worry about that. You know,
So do you get 4 here and then later on take none, or do you take 2 here and then 2 later? Or it's kind of hard to plan that out if you don't know what anybody else is doing.
yeah, and some of these guys may have spotters to help them out. A lot of these guys do it on their own, which is pretty tough. You know, to try to do all this calculation in your mind and race the car and worry about your buttons on your button box. I mean, there's a lot going on in these guys' race rigs while they're sitting here in the middle of this race.
Looks like we got a new leader, the 4 car, the Lee Auto number 4 car of Ryan Ayers out front now.
Yeah, he is up 3 spots, but the person who's going to be starting on the outside of him in second is Carlos Ramos. In the 90 car, he is up 12 positions.
Wow.
Well, and for some of these guys, it might be new, and some obviously there's a lot of them. You get an extra point for being the guy that made up the most spots. You know, so that could help him if he's the guy that makes the most positions in the race. Unfortunately for Terry James in the 49 car, I've been watching him. He went from he started number 1 and he's sitting 20 right now in last place. Everybody's on the lead lap, looks like, though.
It looks like everybody's on the lead lap. It also looks like Darrell Whitlow is up there. He's also up 12 or 13 spots.
You know, the team owners from Xfinity are watching this, and they're looking at these guys thinking, you know, we're still early. This is the first race of the new ARCA season. However, we've got car owners that are going to be watching this saying, hey, at the end of the season, you know, I'm dialing up this guy. I want him on my Xfinity team. There's always somebody watching.
Yeah, I mean, we got a team owner points race as well, and this guys are real competitive about that, you know, and they're always looking to, you know, get the new blood in there, the guys that are good, you know. Guys like me, you know, I probably get shifted to the side down off a team, you know, because I'm like an 85 I rating, but these guys are the real deal, you know. They can race, and people are wanting to pull them up, and I think guys, they have to run the entire season. Is that correct before they can be pulled up?
I do believe that's the case now. I think if you're starting out in ARCA, which if you're going to race any of the other series, you've got to do at least 1 full season of ARCA.
Which personally I think is great, you know, because you get
idea.
You get the feel of it. You get kind of to know these guys on the Discord channel and who does what and how it works. I mean, it's a pretty intricate. Well, it's kind of like an organization, really. Now, I think Tabor Mowry's built this thing into, I'd call it a small iRacing empire, and I think he's got big plans on trying to grow this league even bigger than it is now. You know, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's a lot of good guys and a lot of good racing.
Pace car coming down as we enter the tri-oval here, getting ready to go green. They are stacked up 2 wide. Looks like we might have some penalties as we got a long line of cars down the inside line. Ryan Ayers taking us to the green flag. Coming across the line here in just a second, and there they go. 3 wide behind them.
Yeah, you had a couple of cars with a little bit of a slow start, and you can pass on the outside before the stripe here. It could have been just as simple as somebody missing a gear, you know. It happens here, especially if you're running a realistic type H pattern shifter.
It happens a lot. I'm sitting here personally just in pit road watching Gavin Marlin blow through the back of the field. He's making some moves.
That was a great pass on the 93, yeah.
Yeah, he's starting to get caught in a little bit of traffic, but you got to keep your eye on that kid. He's gonna keep going if his car doesn't get too banged up. Number 55 Bojangles car, man, that's a cool car. Number 55. He's riding back there with Gavin at the moment. Yeah,
somebody's stuck in the middle there. Oh, they moved up. That's one of the things you don't want here. Is you don't want to get stuck in the middle and have
that's
two freight trains running on either side of you, and there's no place for you to go.
that's where you gotta
Step
have friends.
back.
You better find some friends. If you got enemies, you're gonna stay there. And you'll end up in the back of the pack in no time.
Yep, that's right.
Looks like everybody is kind of settled in a little bit here, going 2-wide racing all the way back. This is a fantastic looking pack race right here.
Yeah, I mean it looks like the real deal. My old lady might call this a video game. That's what she calls it, but it's a simulation. Personally, I think it's the real deal. It feels good. Feels like sometimes, especially if you're in VR, feels like you're in a race car. Does it not?
It really does. As somebody that I've been doing VR for about a year now, racing, and it is a game changer. It completely changed racing for me, and I don't want to go back. I know a lot of people run triples and stuff. I think Brown, I think you've run triple monitors quite a bit. How does that compare to VR? How's your spatial awareness different?
Man, it's very close. I mean, VR only it brings that extra 3% to the immersion. I mean, depending on your triple setup too. I've got 3 pretty large screens, so I'm sitting right in the middle of my cockpit. But you can almost physically feel it when you're in VR as compared to triple screens. Even if you're not actually moving, you're sitting still.
So the 12 goes to the outside and tries to make a pass on the Bojangles 55, but he didn't have any help, so he's dropping right back down behind him.
Well, it's just like musical chairs up here at the front, isn't it? They're high lines going for a minute, passing the guys on bottom, and then vice versa. So it's quite.
So
29 got
middle
into.
here.
Yeah, 29 got into the old number 90 car. And Carlos kept it in the number 90.
Man, but they were able to hang on to it, rejoin the track, and we're still racing under green flag as we go 3 wide just behind the leaders.
It's Gavin Marlin in the middle there. I don't know if that's going to work out great for him here. Let's see if he can get a little help here. What a great piece of driving by that 90 car just a second ago. I'm sorry, Adam.
No, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, but if you're the number 90 car, I was the number 29 guy that kind of got into him. You're going to remember that, aren't you?
I would imagine so.
Hey, if I'm any one of the cars on this track, I'm going to remember that the 90 did the right thing and he kept it on the apron, stayed out of everybody's way, and let everybody race instead of causing more issues and a bigger problem. As we go 3 wide here again here in about the 4th row.
Yeah, they're getting it right here in the front stretch there. Yeah, Jesse Holmes in the number 29 Goodwrench car. I don't think it was intentional, obviously. We just tapped his bumper and moved him out of the way a little bit.
So now it's the 55 that may get stranded on the outside here with no help. It's not always the sucker hole in the middle. Sometimes you get stuck on the outside with no help.
It looks like he's got a couple people coming up to him right now, and we'll see if they can get a big push. Maybe make that super outside line work. I mean, we've seen the outside line work, but it's getting jumbled up there.
Yeah, it is, and it's tough to hold it on you because you've got the wall right next to you. That is not a fun place to be. I've been there.
I mean, we're just about halfway, and you can tell the guys are starting to wake up a little bit.
Yeah.
Urgency is starting to show itself as, oh my
goodness.
goodness.
We got a big wreck.
It's Gavin Marlin.
Oh, that's a big wreck.
Yeah, we had the big one, boys. They got a little racy there, probably before the racy needed to happen.
Oh, my.
Tore up equipment here.
Yeah, you're going to have some guys that
Hey,
are going
it's
to need a
fast
tow.
repair time, man.
I think so
guarantee
as
most of
well.
these guys got them still.
Man, let's take a quick look back at that, and man, I would say 3/4 of the field got involved in that one.
Oh, they just look like cars and sheet metal everywhere. Out there racing, I mean, it almost looked like the final lap at Dega. You know what I mean? And we're only sitting halfway.
And with the new damage model they have now, you know, you've got fenders and bumpers flying all over the place here, and it's just the technology's come so far from the old Papyrus days, you know, playing NASCAR too.
Yeah, that's when it was a video game. This is an actual simulation.
Absolutely. Excuse me, I'll deal with some bots in our Twitch chat. But yeah, it looks like Gavin getting sideways in the middle of the entire field, just about. And man,
I think Angel Hernandez got into him there, and that just, you know, that happens at a track like this. You know, there's zero room for error when you're pack racing like that, and somebody makes one small mistake and it's over. I mean, you're gonna have a big one.
And look, these guys are gonna go in. They're gonna get their cars fixed. So they're gonna get back out. You know, their day's not over by any means.
No, let's keep racing. Let's keep running it and doing it. I mean, they're working harder than real Mrs. Poindexter out here, and I'm telling you, that's tough work out here. You're working the wheel, you're working your mirrors, you're sweating. You got that white knuckle grip when you're
That's right.
3 wide. Man, I don't envy these guys. I mean, it's a lot easier sitting down here with a cold beer on the pit road watching this race, and I think you probably feel the same.
And I mean, if they race like a lot of folks do with their force feedback turned up, I mean, the only thing they're going to be thinking tomorrow is, you know, I wish I knew what was good for shoulder pain, you know, because they may have some tomorrow morning.
They're going to have a lot of it because, you know, holding that thing together when you get outside that little bubble, man, it gets squirrely on you real quick, man. And I've been a part of a bunch of crashes. That's kind of my thing when I'm a race. That's why I'm now broadcasting, because I can't race. But I know how it feels.
Right.
I've been there and done that.
Wade Brooks in the 88 machine, up 12 positions, is your current leader after our second caution of the race. We will look to go green flag here, I believe, next lap, and we'll have 14 laps to go. So I think the racing is just getting started.
And it looks like we got 3 cars a lap down. I think is what I'm showing. I guess we'll see once they cycle around. So Daryl Whitlow right now in line for the lucky dog, possibly here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he was involved in that or not.
Well, I mean, I'm going to go with the percentages. I'm going to guess he probably was. Just watching that wreck.
It's kind of hard to not be in it.
Man, that got intense, guys. I kind of enjoyed. They were 3 wide there for quite a bit, and they held it for the most part. And then, of course, you know, it happened.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's just how these cars react in that dirty air. You see them, you know, not necessarily struggling to hold the line, but the car just likes to float around when you get multiple cars in the same vicinity of each other, side by side.
Yeah, and I like that analogy, float, because that's what it feels like when you're doing it. When you get outside that air, it does float on you, and it depends on how you have your settings on your force feedback to how you can get yourself corrected. But man, and when you're 3 wide and somebody's floating around, that becomes a problem, and I think we kind of saw that just there.
I mean, you remember in Mario Kart when you laid down like the triple banana peel line? That's what some of these guys, it feels like to them when they're right behind somebody, and like you say, dirty air takes air off the nose, and it just slides up the track like you're on banana peels.
Man, I don't know anything about Mario Kart. I'm too old, but I do like the number 88 Wade Brooks's Scooby-Doo car. One of my favorite cartoons of all time was when Jerry Reed was on Scooby-Doo. Most of you kids probably don't know who Jerry Reed is.
And the Harlem Globetrotters.
Great show, but he's got a great paint scheme, and he's sitting number 1 at the moment. But we got a long way to go. See where he ends up.
Stacking it back up for 2 wide racing here as they come down the backstretch following the pace car. 1 to go to get that green flag. The lights on the pace car are off. And let's see here. It looks like, I believe, Daryl Whitlow in that 9 machine is currently a lucky dog if a caution does come out, and he gets through it okay with Matthew Spires just behind him. And we'll see if Joe Archer comes out of the pits in time, but he's kind of running out of time before the field comes back around on him.
What a great stretch of green flag racing, though. I mean, this at a super speedway with these cars, I mean, you guys have done Carburetor Cup. You know what usually happens. Or even a Michelin Quals race. You know what happens in these things. I mean, you rarely make it 2 or 3 turns before the whole damn thing ends up in a mangled mess.
No, this has
These
been
guys
entertaining.
did so many laps of good green flag racing today, and shoot, if anybody's complaining about having a caution right here, I mean, go run some Carburetor Cup and they'd complain, you know.
Yeah, and the number 20 car, Timothy Jones, was in an incident earlier. He's already back up to 3rd, so that's what can happen when you have all the, 2 fast repairs.
Pace car coming down.
Yes, indeed. Pace car is coming down. Wade Brooks, Gary Sachs bringing the 2 lines down to the green flag as we wait for it to wave. Green flag, away they go. 2 wide racing.
And what gear are you guys starting in here?
Oh, you're
Second,
second gear.
all day long. 55, making a move down, getting behind the leader here on the inside line. He's like me. He likes to jump to the inside as quick as he can.
Yeah, Mr. Bo Jangles there. Great paint scheme, and obviously I think that's a chicken joint down in the south.
14 laps to go.
With a big run up the middle here. My goodness, he's going places. He's using that side drive to just drive to the front. Look at him go.
He's getting that tunnel effect coming up that middle.
It's Daryl Whitlow, number 9 car.
Wow.
You know what?
Daryl's on a freaking tear. Look at him go
He don't
on the
care.
outside here. What a run. He just made up 10 positions in a lap.
Is that stroke race?
My
He's getting
God.
after it.
He looks like he was born to race.
He's up there now, isn't he?
And,
Sitting outside of the leader.
outside of the leader, but he's also a lap down, so he's currently in 18th.
Jeez.
Almost unlapping himself by him.
Wow.
Just natural racing.
Might be Bill Elliott racing there. Instead of Darryl Whitlow tonight.
Bill. Yeah.
Unlapping himself at Talladega. Here comes
Wow.
the 12 up the middle.
3 wide, man.
4 wide behind
Exciting
him.
race. Gavin trying to mix it up, trying to nose his way through here.
Well, that boy can do it now.
Got one car on the scraping the wall slightly, but he held on to it. He's back down, joining traffic here.
It's like they're running
wide,
three,
the
three
trial
wide,
here.
and it's just not a single car. They're running
Look
like
at this.
3 lines
Three
here right now.
3 or 4 rows deep, 3 wide.
Yeah, Jeremy Rucker, number 12, is moving he's moving up in that middle line.
Look at the clean racing here. I hope these Xfinity owners are watching this.
Oh, I would hope so.
3 wide. All the way down the backstretch and into 3 and 4. Man,
Oh, the 12 got turned.
Oh,
Oh, no.
oh no, and here's our second big one.
That's another big one, that's for sure. Poor John J. Timms in the 77 car got caught up in that. I was watching him. He was making moves, too. Matthew Spires in the 37 car, Budweiser car
Goodness.
involved. Timothy Jones, number 20, involved again.
Take a quick replay
So-
look at that. Oh, looks like the 12 got a little help.
So I'm being told that the 9 will get an EOL. One of the things they do in this ARCA series, because it's a development league, if you're the cause of the caution, they give you an EOL. You start in the back of the field for the restart, which I mean, this is a huge track. That's not a death sentence. I mean, Darrell will be able to work his way back up there like we've seen him do earlier. I mean, he's got a fast car.
As long as you're on the lead lap, you're fine. I'm watching Gavin again, and he is back. The back part of his sheet metal is off the vehicle at the moment. I'm sure he'll go in and get that repaired. And
Quite a few
he's set
destroyed cars.
he's at number 10. He'll have no problem coming back. But wow, you know, we got 10 laps to go, and they're getting after it already.
Yeah, we'll have just under 10 to go when we take the green flag. I think everybody is good on fuel, good on tires. I think it's just a question at this point is, did you get damage?
49's pitting. The 45 of Al Corey, we hadn't said his name yet tonight. He's having a solid run. Looks like he's coming in for fuel and possibly some tires.
Al Corey's the Canadian tire car.
Yes,
Is that correct?
yes, he runs that scheme quite often.
I thought that boy was from Texas. It
I
says
think
on
it
his
says
thing.
Texas on his entries.
He could be a snowbird now. I don't know
He
if he
might
comes
be.
in and out. You know,
Ooh.
those shapeshifters that come in and out of Texas. We call them snowbirds.
Looked like the 49 missed his box there, had to
Oh,
move
no.
back a little bit, and he was doing a full stop. He's going to lose a lot of positions on that.
Ann Murray'd be proud of the terminology you're using tonight there.
Anne Murray she's a great Canadian. Still around. I think she's
Yeah.
retired.
Yeah, I don't think she's touring anymore.
And like most of our references, they're not for the younger generation.
Some of them are pretty obscure.
Yeah,
Jesse-
told Terry Freer, I think that, like I said, I thought his dad or something played for the Dolphins. I don't know. He's in the 46 car. He's in 4th place, man. I think he's kind of kept it clean here and just been running top 5, top 10 the whole race.
So Pensacola, Florida's Jesse Holmes is kind of the benefactor of that last wreck. He's moved up into the first position now here.
Pensacola, Florida. I used to live in Navarre Beach, Florida. It's kind of like the armpit of the world, you know. Great, beautiful beaches, but wow. Can you say Florida, man? I mean, I've met a few.
Have you been to the Naval Aviation Museum on Pensacola? Naval Air
yeah,
Station?
yes, I have.
Great.
Oh,
it's
it's
a
cool.
beautiful place.
There's a lot of beautiful stuff down there in Florida. I joke, but I have lived there, and you get out in the woods there, it gets kind of crazy, kind of, you know, just like anywhere else.
I've been to Fort Walton and Destin, and they had the Mullet Festival down there a couple of years. Mullet the fish, not the hair,
Oh,
but
That's
the
what I was
guys
gonna
that
ask.
show up, they're definitely wearing a wig, you know. It's kind of a dual
They're
meaning thing.
wearing mullets for the mullet.
Just a name we haven't said, but we've said his car number a bunch, is Ryan Privet in the 55. Seen him making some moves in that Bojangles car. Currently, I believe he's going to be starting in 7th.
15th? Oh, 7th?
Yeah, currently starting it. I believe he's going to be starting in 7th. So we'll take a look, because he's been making some moves, whether they've been right or wrong. He's been making them.
Well, like I said earlier, you got to send it, you know. I mean, that's the name of the game here.
My bad on the mistaken position there. They hadn't cycled around yet. I bow to you, Mr. Brown. Oh, great one.
Yeah. Like we always talk about in these broadcasts, English and myself, we don't really add much to this. This is basically Mr. Brown's show, hitting the buttons, controlling
Hey,
the whole
man.
situation. It's tough.
Hey,
So
you got to have a
hats
brain
off to
to
you.
an operation, you know.
That's correct. And there's 2 brains are not in South Oklahoma and Louisiana, I can tell you that.
We're like the big dumb animal, and he's like the guy working the controls inside of the big dumb animal. That's kind of
Yes.
how I think about it.
That's a great. He's in the brain. He's sitting there in the brain with the buttons. Yeah.
He's Krang in the middle of
Yeah.
the giant monster thing from Ninja Turtles. You probably didn't watch that either, did you?
I didn't watch that, but I mean, you know, I'm old. I know Scooby-Doo, but I'm just looking down this list of drivers, you know. Like, the only Ohio boy I see here is Matthew Spires. I don't know where he's sitting right now, but
Is
like
it Spears or Spires?
I'd like to say Spires.
I
but,
bet it's
mean,
Spires. That's how it's spelled.
It Spires.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
from Ohio, so you know he don't really care about nothing else, you know,
That's
but
a
winning.
tough
You know,
bunch, dude.
those guys are
bunch.
tough, man. Like we talked about, It's almost like a gang. The whole state, I'm a little concerned about.
Hey,
personally.
hey, he's off on the gang thing. The Nidec boys might be
That's-
watching this.
Well, that's what I'm talking
May
about.
take
Those,
offense.
those guys are so tough, man. I wouldn't. I'm hoping they're not in or another race in ARCA because they'd tear this thing up.
Coming through 3 and 4, pace car's going to come down pit road this time with Jesse Holmes, your leader, and Wade Brooks on his outside. 2 new names to this league, looking to see if they can cement their position already in race number 1. Coming through the tri-oval, here they go, 2 wide stacked up. Get ready to take the green, and there it is, we're going racing.
Outside got a good jump. Oh, I think he might have missed a gear. The
Yeah, you just
Scooby-Doo car
gotta
here.
stay with it. You just got to stay with it and keep going. They didn't accordion up behind him, so I think.
No,
we'll be
no,
good
no. I
here.
think they gave each other enough room here. You know, Holmes is up here on the front row here watching his mirror. He's watching where that outside line's going. Right now, he's got pretty good help in that 89 Dodge painted car right behind him.
Yeah,
Gary
so Gary
Sack.
Sack the third. Gary Sack the third.
But look at the run the outside's got right here. My goodness.
And you know, we've seen that all race long. It's almost like you want to be on the outside.
Got a little 3 wide action a couple rows back. Looks like it's going to sort itself out. Is that the 9 moving up again?
That's the 9 moving up
That
again.
is Darrell Whitlow moving to the front via the side draft. Oh my.
Wow.
That is something to see. Of course, he stalls out right here. He's trying to pull a side draft on the 29 here, trying to stay alive. Looks like he's
still
got a little
showing
help.
him a lap down, right? He's still a lap down, is he not?
He is still a lap down. He ended up getting an EOL from that last caution.
The fight in this guy, though, to unlap yourself.
Well, he's putting it out there, isn't he?
My God. Go 3 wide again up here.
Me personally, if I'm in his position, I'm not mixing it up with those boys up front. But hey, everybody has a different strategy.
You're about 6 rows back. Al Corey on the bottom 3 wide. He's sticking to that yellow line. That's where I like to be.
6 laps to go, fighting and jockeying for position here. Trying to, and I know Darrell's still waiting on, you know, one more caution, and hopefully it's behind him and he's not involved in it to get that wave around.
Well, what do you guys think? You think we're going to see another caution? I think it's too late. I
Oh,
think I just
here
seen
it comes. There's the 14 and the 93 got into it. Al Corey comes
Yeah.
around too.
Right on cue. Maybe I jinxed
Oh,
him.
Right
Yahtzee.
on cue.
Go back and look at that one. So Brown, is this going to put us into a green-white checkered situation? You think, or how's that going to work?
You know what? I believe this will be a green-white checker before the green-white checker. Come on, replay. Show the actual incident. We'll go to this one. Oh man, I gotta.
Looked like 90 came down on Gavin a little bit. The Carlos Ramos came down on Gavin. It looked like to me, Brown. I didn't know what you saw.
Yeah, we'll let's try to get a look here because my replay's not wanting to work that great. Yeah, it looks. Oh yeah, the 90 just comes straight down into Gavin. Gavin getting into Isaac Wilson, sending him way around.
Yeah, I don't think he saw him. I don't think Carlos saw.
You might want to fire his spotter after that one because Gavin was most certainly there.
Yeah, and you know, I know we talk a lot about Gavin because we've seen him race. We know he's a good race car driver, and Gavin holds his line. I mean, that's the bottom line. And I think Carlos, not Ramos of the 90 car, just probably lost where he was on the track and didn't have the spotter on point. Maybe would be my guess, just watching it from here.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well, as believe the 9 of Darrell Whitlow, even though he ended up being behind a couple cars, is going to get the lucky dog this time to get waved around and get back onto the lead lap.
Well,
That's great. He basically unlapped himself and then got the lucky dog.
yeah, he's got the lucky dog, and I'm telling you, he's like a freight train, man. Now he's going to be on the lead lap. Do you think we hadn't seen the last of him, I don't think.
Hey, look, if it's working for you, do the same damn thing. He's going to come up in the middle, side drafting both sides, and watch him to run up the middle of these guys. Darrell Whitlow's he's been around for a season or so he's a veteran in this series. So watch him to run up maybe through these new guys that are kind of watching their P's and Q's. They're trying to be careful. Watch him to try to slam it up the middle again.
I mean, what do you think's causing that? I mean, is he putting his car in the right position to kind of suck up in the middle? Because if I was to get in the middle, I would drop straight to the back. I don't know how he's pulling this off, but it's pretty impressive.
So it looked like he was just side drafting off of these cars. I mean, you're not helping yourself go faster, but you're putting a bunch of air on the spoiler on the car beside you. So, I mean, you dump air on this guy, and then you move to the right and dump air on that guy, and then you just keep going. You're pulling those cars back a little bit, essentially.
That thing's like a lot of work, but I mean, if you can do it, you know how to do it. I mean, that's what's going to put you up in the front. You know, cream rises to the top sometimes, boys. Yahtzee.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. I mean,
Now,
we're seeing some newer talent here too. You know.
I was gonna say, how about your top 5 right now being Timothy Jones, Terry Freer, Michael Cheney, Jesse Holmes, and Ryan Ayers, all, first-time seasons in the Midwest Days of Thunder.
I recognize Jesse Holmes' name. I think he ran a couple of races last season, but he definitely didn't run a full schedule. But look at him representing up there in the 4th position. I mean, he's put on a great show. Started in 12th on the outside line, and now he's up to 4th.
And all of those guys up 9 positions, up 4 positions, up 8 positions, up 8 positions. Just tells you, it doesn't matter where you start at these plate tracks. It's all on where you finish.
And they're showing up. They're showing out. They're saying, "Hey, look what we can do when we're all on a level playing field." This is a fixed setup league, and especially at a plate track, anybody can win at a plate track. I mean, it's not technically a restrictor plate track, but you get my drift. I'm talking about pack racing, and these guys are showing that, hey, I'm brand new, but I might have been. Some of these guys might have been on iRacing for 8 to 10 years. We don't know. This is just their first race here at Midwest Days of Thunder ARCA Series.
Yeah, and as you've been saying, I'm really hoping these Xfinity team owners are watching, because this has been some exciting racing. Yeah, we've had some cautions and this and that, but you expect that.
You have to expect it here. I mean, when you get a bunch of fast machines with aggressive, hungry guys this close together, yeah, you're gonna have some good-sized crashes. But hey, that's why they have 2 fast repairs here. It's to be expected, like you say. Looks like we got a bunch more penalty cars. Do we have? We must have some speeders on pit road or passing under yellow. Because if you look at the inside line there, they're lined up on that inside line here.
They're lined up, and one of those people on that inside line, I believe, is going to be the 9 of Darrell Whitlow. So let's see if he can't side draft all the way from back there, all the way up through the middle like he has been, or if these guys have learned, like, hey, maybe we should block the middle and run a little tighter to each other, and Darrell won't get that much run coming up through here.
Well, you talk about run a little tighter. I mean, they're running it pretty tight, but you got to give yourself a little bit of room. You don't know your driver next to you for the most part, so you got to be a little cautious. However, I think we don't have much time left, so
No, green, white, checkers. as Timothy Jones brings us to the line with Terry Freer on the outside. Green flag waves, and they are off and running. The 20 of Timothy Jones getting a good jump.
It's go time, boys. That's all I got to say about that.
2 laps to go. 2 wide racing.
Gavin's back here. He needs a little help if he's going to try to recover.
They're making moves 3 wide for the lead. Terry Freer, Michael Chaney, Timothy Jones, all jockeying for position.
29 stuck outside by himself. Let's see if he can get back down. He's not getting much room. He might get stuck out there, it looks like, unfortunately for him. That 89 just, he's there. You can't just come down into him, you know?
No. Coming across, taking the white flag. There will be no more cautions. This race will end no matter what. Got Timothy Jones leading the way with Ryan Ayers pushing, and Terry Freer trying to get that outside line to work, maybe to make a late move. 20 moving up to block it. Oh, the 20 gets spun. 3 wide for the lead.
That's plate racing, boys.
Timothy Jones, what a heartbreak.
Yeah. Feel bad for him, but now we got to keep going. Another.
Oh, big wreck in the mid-pack.
Wow.
Big wreck in the mid, and there's wrecking up front.
29 is involved. The 90.
Wade Brooks getting a big lead off of that one. Let's see if Michael Chaney can make a move coming down to the inside. He spins him, turns him across the line. It's going to be, I believe, Michael Chaney ending up getting the win at the line.
Wow.
The 25.
That's all I got to say.
The 25 of the 88, I thought that was your race.
Yeah.
But hey, man, surprises happen. This is a plate track.
We're gonna have to go
Make it
back
till you
and take
make it, boys.
gonna have to go back and take a look at that and see who actually crossed the line first,
Unbelievable.
barring any penalties.
I had Michael Chaney, but
Yeah, it's showing Michael Chaney, and was he was driving the 2 car? It looked like he's 25 on the
the
screen,
25 car, yeah.
But
Oh
wow.
my God!
Man,
Where'd that kid come from?
Look at this.
talk about a finish. It looks like that's
Looks like the 2.
showing the 2 car, but I don't.
Yeah, I think he's one of them guys that doesn't have the right number on his car.
Oh, that's probably what happened.
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
Man, it would help if guys had the right number
right
on their
numbers
car.
so we could see who actually won this race. It's
It's
still being
he's 25. It's showing 25.
it's showing the 25 of
But
Michael
if you look
Chaney.
at the finish, it looked like the 2 got in front of him.
Which would be
Was the
Ryan
2 a lap
Ayers.
down?
Ryan Ayers, I believe, is who that is.
No, it's not Ryan Ayers. Not Wade
I think that was
Brooks.
Joe Archer.
Oh, you think that was Joe Archer? You know what? It was Joe Archer, and he was a lap down. So
Oh,
Michael
okay, that makes
Chaney.
more
So
sense.
the 25 is your winner.
So the 25 is your winner, and you know what? I
What a run.
don't see him in the Discord, so I'm not going to be able to interview him after one crazy finish. Let's see if is Wade Brooks here? No, doesn't look like it.
Hey, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, and
Hey,
Ryan,
Tell him to join a garage or pit road or something so we can pull him because we don't have access to everybody's
Yeah.
channel to pull him in.
Yeah, that's well, it's an interesting finish, you guys. I don't know
I
what was happening there, but it got wild. I can tell you that.
no kidding on the whole wild aspect, man. That
That was amazing. It was so fun to watch. I was on the edge of my seat, man. I was nervous for these guys, man, but
Yeah, you felt the white knuckle on that steering wheel when you're looking in the rear view and you're sweating. You think you're
Look
sitting
at-
pretty, and you get wiped out.
right place, right time. As you see the finishing order here, you know, the guys. So many of these guys have privateer mark next to their name because, hey, a lot of these guys are still looking for an owner. They're still looking for a team to run on. So if you like what you see and you're a car owner, maybe think about contacting some of these guys. Y'all saw what they can do this race.
All right. Well, we'll bring in the third place finisher. Oh, I guess not. He says give him a minute. Ryan Ayers is
Got Wade Brooks or Michael Chaney around here.
not looking like it. Just kind of a bummer. So yeah, our current finishing order: Michael Chaney getting the win in the first round of the ARCA series. Wade Brooks coming in second. Ryan Ayers coming in third. Gavin Marlin coming in fourth, getting a good start to another season. Al Corey coming in fifth. Terry James coming in sixth. Isaac Wilton in seventh. Angel Hernandez in eighth. John J. Timms in ninth. And Brian Privet in 10th.
The number 29 car, Jesse Holmes, finished out that Ford Motorsports car. He made it back up to 11th. Gary Sachs in the 89 car finishing 12th. Heartbreak for him as he got turned there. Carlos Ramos, the newcomer, at 13th. Timothy Jones, 14th. Patrick Allen, 15th place today in the 78 car. Terry Freer, the 46th, 16th place. Darrell Whitlow, the number 9 car, finished 17th today. And Joe Archer on Canada Day. He did not have the luck of Canada Day on his side today as he finishes 18th place, 6 laps down. Poor Joe.
Well, that's crazy, man. It kind of confused the end there because he was coming at it like a full Canadian speed, like a bobsled, just rammed the winner there at the finish line. But hey, man, that's what happens on Canada Day. Anything can happen. That's what they're celebrating up there.
Hey, he got his lap back. He got one of his lap back, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what he was gunning for. Then you got Jeremy Rucker there. He is the number 12 car. He finished 19th, and Matthew Spires in 20th in the 37 car.
All right, hey guys, I got the top 3 guys. Which one you want me to drag in first?
Let's get the race winner, Michael Chaney, in here first.
Let's let him get in the door here.
Hey, Michael, you got a copy? Nope.
He jumped right out of there.
Oh, I'll try it again.
Hey, Michael, you got a copy? Nope.
I think he just wants to celebrate with a cold beer. I mean, I don't know how old the kid is. Sorry.
Leave the man alone.
Oh, apparently he doesn't want to.
Apparently he doesn't want to be in here. Alrighty then. So yeah, let's we'll bring in Ryan Ayers, our third place finisher then. Hey, Ryan, you got a copy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, man, great racing at the end. That was, one of the better finishes at Talladega I think I've ever seen. It kind of give us your thoughts on that last lap.
Oh, I didn't know what to expect. I know that Talladega, I've seen some crazy finishes here on iRacing. It doesn't matter which car you're driving, and this was probably the most fun I've had in a finish in any league or any track or anything, especially Talladega. It was a ton of fun. I was in my team channel like, hey guys, just be ready for anything. We were running about mid-pack for most of the race, and it ended up working out for me, and the rest of the team here did pretty good. But yeah, just incredible finish. The whole race was fun, but the finish made it all worth it for sure.
The first green flag, stretch was, 18, 19 laps? I mean, that's pretty impressive for a group of guys that some guys are unproven. I mean, a lot of you guys have been racing for a long time, but we've got a few guys that are relatively new in iRacing, not just the ARCA series here at MDOT. So and another thing too I wanted to mention was that cool Scooby-Doo paint job we saw running around on the 88. We definitely enjoyed watching you run today.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome race. I've taken a break from iRacing for almost 2 years, and this is the first league here with MDOT that I started back up with. So For my first official, I guess, league race in almost 2 years and finishing third here with the other drivers, I couldn't ask for a better start to this series. I'm really excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
We're
man.
definitely
I thought
glad
it was.
to have you.
I thought it was kind of damn good racing there. Y'all were doing a lot of 3 wides. What team are you on? Just so we can know.
MPN Racing. It's me, JJ Timms, Carlos Ramos, and Jeremy Rucker. We're all.
This is y'all's first season with MDOT.
Yeah, the first season as a team, first season with MDOT, the whole works. We literally just formed like a week before MDOT did their recruitment race last week. And so, yeah, this was our first official race we've ever done together. And it was so much fun with them. And they were a lot of help for me coming back after 2 years. And they've helped me out a lot all week long to get prepared for it. And then, to come in here and get to run with them out on the track as well. It was totally a really cool experience that I've never had before. So, again, I'm excited for the rest of the season.
That's awesome, man. Congrats on a 3rd place and then welcome to MDOT. And we watched you guys race, and man, we had a hell of a time watching. It was fun, and we look forward to the rest of the season with y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thanks MDOT for putting it on, and you guys broadcasting it. It looks like you did an awesome job. I had it on in the background the whole time, so I'm really excited to see what this season brings, and appreciate all the work everybody's doing to make it happen.
All right, cool, man. Thanks.
Thank you, brother.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
All right, thanks.
All right. Let's get our 2nd place finisher, Wade Brooks, in here. Hey, Wade, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, you in that Scooby-Doo machine, you were making some moves, kind of running up front just about the entire race, all the way up to that last lap. Kind of explain what happened a little bit.
Well, I don't know. It's pretty intense, man. We were just racing hard, man. I had a fast car. Every line I could push good. Every line I'd get in would move. It seemed like I had one of the fastest cars. It seemed like pushing and being pushed. So I don't know what happened on the last lap. Barely made it through there. I guess because I was out front.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. It's called Talladega, but we really enjoyed watching your car, and your paint scheme is super cool. The Scooby-Doo car, and I thought you had a hell of a race. I mean, it's tough when you're new and there's a newer guys in the league and racing with guys you never raced before. So I think there was a lot of learning going on today. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially pack racing with these guys, and learn how to draft these ARCA cars. I don't race ARCA cars that much, besides in this league, for the most part.
I had
Racing
never
the-
been in an ARCA car until I joined this league, and I kind of fell in love with them really, because they're a good driving car. Especially once you get used to them at a few tracks. Is that kind of your impression? Is it kind of, you're kind of starting to get used to it?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I think it drives good. It was a little bit faster than I thought it would be at Talladega. I was redlining it most of the time. I was worried it was going to blow up.
Send it, son.
Yeah, full send, man. They suck up pretty good. I know that.
Yeah, they do. I could push real easy and get hella runs.
All right. Well, man, thank you so much for coming out, and congratulations on the 2nd place finish in the first points race here in ARCA, and we wish you best of luck this rest of the entire season.
Yeah, welcome,
All right.
Wade.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. It was fun. See y'all next week.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll try this one more time. Michael Cheney, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man,
There he
our
is. All
race
right.
winner. Congratulations. Talk about a heck of a finish coming to that line.
Man, I don't even know. I feel terrible how that happened. I don't race like that. That's not me, man. And I would have rather Wade win it and he finished second. Took him like that. That's not how I do things. I don't know. I just ain't that kind of person,
And stuff happens, man. Everybody's been here before, whether you're in a carburetor cup race or a league race or a hosted race. you know, sometimes, hey, stuff happens at the end, and right place, right time. I mean, you know, hey, you know, hey,
It's Dega, baby.
it's
That's
Dega.
it.
I mean,
That's it.
so
I know that. You know, I live 3.5 hours away from that place. I go every year, man. I love it. That's my track. I love that place. I try to get up there to every one of them, and it's a miserable, miserable race to sit through, but it's so much fun to watch and just be there for it. And honestly, I was sitting here racing and watching the Dale Jr. download with Clint Boyer on there right now, and
I watched
just
it earlier. Yeah.
man, and laughing about that, what they're talking about, and trying to get this thing going, and I go and win. That was just crazy.
You got a lot of things going on, man. It's a lot going on. You're fighting everybody. You're fighting, and y'all were doing a lot of pack racing, man. And everybody's staying pretty tight together the whole race. So it was tough, but we enjoyed watching you. And congratulations on that victory here in your home track at Dega.
Yeah, thank y'all. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna try to be in the next one. I keep a hectic schedule, working all the time, so I get in here when I can. So
Hey, man, all I know is we all look forward to seeing you every week if you can make it, and who knows, maybe this is the first of many coming up in this season.
I hope so. These ARCA cars are fun to drive. They're a handful, but they're fun.
All right, man, congratulations. Go celebrate with a beer or something. We'll catch you on the next one.
I was having the beer before it started. What are you talking
Hey,
about?
thank you, son.
Join the
Thank you.
club, bud.
I like how you roll.
You can't get the DUI on iRacing. If they flip
That's
the screw,
Right. That's right.
son.
There's no breathalyzers here.
it's going to go faster if they get behind you on here. All right, y'all have a good one. Appreciate it. Appreciate everything y'all do, and yeah, thank y'all.
Hey, thanks
All
for
right,
coming.
man, have a good one.
So I want to apologize to Ryan Ayers. I thought he was the one running the dead gum Scooby-Doo paint. So I apologize to him and Wade Brooks about my mistake earlier. I got them guys mixed up.
Well, they're all new. We're learning
Ah,
these
man,
guys, and
Yeah.
learning their personalities, and it's new to us. Newly, these ARCA guys turn over. So we're getting to see new talent every week, which is pretty dang cool in my opinion. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, guys.
I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially when everybody gets their team sorted out and everybody figures out who they can and can't work with. And I think we're talk about fireworks. What do we got next week?
We
I don't
got
even know what
Legacy
track.
Texas next week.
Texas.
Well,
gonna
that's
be
a fun track.
one,
Is
boy.
it Legacy Texas or regular Texas?
Legacy Texas.
Ooh, it's tight
Oh
now.
boy,
That front
that's gonna be
stretch.
fun.
Yeah, they're gonna
Can't wait
wheel.
for
They're
that
gonna have to wheel it. They're gonna have to wheel it. That's my home track, boys.
Yeah, and well, so this brings this race to a close. This 35 laps at Talladega. We appreciate y'all tuning in and watching what turned out to be an exciting plate track race here, and we'll look forward to catching you next week as we go to Texas. I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off. Y'all have a fantastic night.
We gone.
See ya.